Hi guys, my name is Lourdes. Today I'm not gonna be doing a vlog. This is channel that is called Marfan Mommy. The reason why it's called Marfan Mommy is because I have Marfan syndrome. Mostly my videos, my vlogs are in Spanish, but I decided to do this one in English because there are many people that have asked me in English about my condition. They wanted to know what I have and what is Marfan syndrome. So I decided to do this video for them. And also you could, I think, translate in Spanish if you're interested in watching this video too. So first, I'm just gonna tell you that Marfan syndrome is a connective tissue disorder that affects the organs, the way the muscle is. It affects the skeleton, everything. It's basically like our connective tissue disorder is abnormal. It doesn't function well like a normal person. Because of the abnormality, we're very flexible. We're like glue. We're easily able to detach and be very flexible with our body. So basically Marfan syndrome has affected me personally because it does have a lot of characteristics, but one of the conditions that I have is that I had retinal detachment in my left eye. As you can see, I had retinal detachment in 2004. Had two surgeries. One was the bubble, which was an experience for me very bad. I went through kind of like a depression period during that time because I had to be with my head down without moving with the bubble for 2 weeks. So basically I couldn't move my head up, right, left. Even to go to sleep I had to be with my head this way. So I will sleep that way, and it was just very hard for me to sleep like that. So it was for me like a penance, to be honest. And it was a long journey. When after I did the 2 weeks, went back to the doctor just for the doctor to tell me that the retina has detached, and there they told me that they were gonna do another surgery, but then I wouldn't have to be with my head down again. It was gonna be another one. I think it was a buccal surgery, but I'll leave that information around here. What was the next surgery? And also that was unsuccessful. Basically I lost my left eye completely, and that led to strabismus. I don't know if when you have retinal detachment surgery and it doesn't work, does it lead to strabismus, but my eye started turning this inside this way. I tried to fix that too, didn't work. I think because doctors think because my muscle in my eyes, the pupil is also very abnormal than a normal person, so it's very big, so it was difficult for it to be fixed. So that's one of the things that I have marked. Okay, so another characteristic is basically it's a genetic disorder. Mine is actually not mutation from my parents. Usually 75% it comes from your parents or your mother, if I'm not wrong, and 25% is just a mutation. So that was inherited, a new mutation that was inherited, a new mutation, I'm sorry. And then 75% is inherited. I'm just reading because I did do a little bit research. And then the new mutation is called fibrilis. Fibrilis is an abnormal connective tissue disorder. Like I said, that's the reason why our body is totally different, more flexible, more easy to get damage, and our organs and everything is not normal. So one of the things that we do have also is we're tall and thin. I'm actually not that tall. I'm like 5'3", not considered tall, and I'm actually not thin, which I wish I had, because I do have support group in Marfan syndrome. If anyone is interested, I'll leave that also link here. But it's also that you're thin. A lot of my friends in that support are skinny, and not the skinny, but you could be like a model too, because you're so skinny and also you're like tall. But I was very, actually, when I was a child, I was very, very skinny. And as a teenager, I was also skinny, but not the skinny, like nice skinny, like I don't know if I could say it, but I was very slender. Basically, I don't know if any other Marfan person, that person that has Marfan, deals as a, especially a woman deals with this problem, is because I usually tend to gain weight a lot in the body, in the upper part, and then also a little bit in my thighs, but then in my legs they're skinny. They never actually food doesn't go there, like basically, like it's very skinny. And that has been one of my biggest problem, well, not biggest problem, but it has been something that I always kind of used to be upset and depressed, because I can wear skirts or nice dresses because of that, because I'm embarrassed of showing my skinny legs. I wish I could be like Lizzie Velasquez. If you know who she is, she just goes out there and shows who she really is, doesn't hide anything. I wish I was like her, but I think that also depends where you grew up with. And I sadly didn't grow up with, sorry, my phone. I sadly, not that I'm blaming my parents, but my parents were brought up with a different view and life, of how you deal with people, like if like, let's say, like they care more a lot about what people says. So basically that's how my parents grew up. And me, and like whatever they judge, and they talk about that. So anyways, I am right now, as you can see, I'm very big. My arms are big. I'm 5'3", like I said. I'm 174. I am considered right now overweight. My doctor told me that I do need to go and lose weight, because it doesn't help me and it doesn't help my heart, because that's another thing that Marfan syndrome has. One of the things that has affected me because of Marfan syndrome is my heart. So I do have to take care of myself very well. And I wish I was fat everywhere, then I'll be happy. But because I'm very overweight in the top, and my knees, I guess they don't support too much weight, so I do need to lose weight. And it's been a hard journey on that, because I just love food. I'm Spanish, and I don't know, I love my rice, my beans. But yeah, so like I said, I'm 33 years old, if you guys didn't know. And I already told you one thing that I have, which is retinal detachment in my left eye. The second surgery that I had was something that I decided to do. It wasn't really necessary, but because my legs were so skinny, since a child I was walking with my feet turning this way and my both feet turning this way. So as I got bigger, my feet, I guess, got used to it. And I guess because my bones and my legs are very flexible, they got used to me walking this way. So as I became older, I started walking like that. And when I was a teenager, basically not even a teenager, turning almost into adolescent, I was 18 years old. I decided to have the surgery because I didn't like my legs, how they, I was walking. So at that time also, to be honest, I was dating somebody, and I wanted it, me at that time, not now. And right now I will never do it for nobody. Right now I will, if I could take that back, I will do it. But past, I learned from it. But because I had my boyfriend, not because he asked me, but because I wanted to look good for him, I decided to do surgery on my legs. He was like, no, don't do it, you're okay like that. But I wanted to do it. But I did the surgery. I didn't have any support from my family, because they thought that what I was born with, I have to accept it. God wanted me this way. That was their belief. So when I went into surgery, it was kind of sad because I didn't have any support from nobody. And anyways, surgery wasn't successful because I had to follow a long journey, which I didn't get the support, to be honest. I don't know if it would have worked if I would have had that support, because I needed to go in a wheelchair, and then I had to go into crutches, and then I had to go to a lot of physical therapy, and nothing of that happened. The only thing I did was I went into wheelchair, and I immediately jumped into standing, putting my feet down when I wasn't supposed to put my feet down. So my legs still the same, you know, they're turned, but now, you know, I love them because at least I'm able to walk with it. You know, unfortunately there are other people that don't even have legs, and you know, they don't have also their own legs, and they use amputations. They're amputated, and they use, you know, another sort of things to walk. So at least I have my own legs, and I'm able to walk. I'm able to go anywhere, even though right now I am having difficulty walking because of my overweight, and also because I'm having arthritis. I don't know if arthritis is another symptoms of Marfan syndrome, but I am having arthritis in my hip, which kind of has also affect me of walking. I am like struggling, like I can't walk like I used to walk. Like I will just walk like 10 blocks without, you know, stopping. Now I do gotta stop after three blocks that I walk. So it has been a little bit you know, a little bit difficult for me in that. And let me drink my tea. So then like I said, usually people are tall, thin, they have long arms, long legs, long fingers and toes. That I do have. I have long arms, long legs, long fingers and toes. Like you could see, my arms are very long, my fingers are very long. Same thing here. Like you could see also that here I have a lot of, you know, muscle or fat, but over here I'm starting to be skinny already, and that's something that I wish I could just be fat everywhere. But it is what it is. So that, and then my legs are, you know, my toes are big, but I'm not gonna show you but they are big, you know. So that's one other thing that I do have. Flexible joints. I do have flexible joints, and also scoliosis. I don't have severe scoliosis. I notice that a lot of children's now that I have in the support Marfans, a lot of parents take their kids to undergo scoliosis surgery, where I feel really bad about them, and sometimes they have to wear casts in back of them. But thank God I didn't have to go through that. But I do feel bad for those that do. I do have scoliosis, you know, like, I don't know if you could tell. Not really, but I do have, but a little bit. So that's another thing. Now with the heart, like I said, that was my third surgery. I had, well, basically I went, doctors think the reason why I had that surgery done is because I had a month before that I went to a dental cleanup. When I did my cleaning of my teeth, I didn't tell the doctor that I had to take antibiotics first. So after a month, I started developing severe, I mean not severe, but I started developing chills, fever. I was not able to walk. I was working at the time, and I remember that I couldn't even walk to the bus. I felt like I wanted to crawl in the floor just to get home. I don't know how I managed to do it, but I ended up home. And when I got home, that's when the fever started, the chills. My mother thought that I had a cold, but it didn't work. The teas that she gave me didn't work. So finally they took me to the hospital, and then the hospital, they went through a lot of testings done. And when they did the, you know, the echo and the x-ray, they found nothing wrong. So then they did like they put something like a camera inside my throat, and then they would check my heart, and that's when they saw that I had endocarditis. Endocarditis is an infection of the valve, so my mitral valve was replaced with a mechanical valve. They put me a mechanical valve, and at that time that was in 2009, and I actually didn't really they didn't really explain me the options I had. I had, because I know that not only you could do mechanical valve, there's also the pig valve and other things that you could do. And they didn't tell me the difference between those surgeries, because if I will have to do it again, I think I wouldn't have picked mechanical valve, even though it's been since 2009, and I haven't had any complaint. The first year was kind of difficult. I did ended up going to the ER because when you have mechanical valve, you have to take warfarin. It's like another word is Coumadin. So because you're in a risk of getting blood clot, so you have to take the medication so the valve could survive. Like, it can be too thick, too thin. So I had to go every week to the doctor, and then finally I ended up going to the ER because I was bleeding a lot. So then they had to do blood transfusion because I missed a lot of blood. But I ended up having mechanical valve, and the reason why I don't know, as a woman I wouldn't choose it. I wouldn't have chosen it if I would have known. Is because when you have mechanical valve, it's more like you can have babies. You could have babies like I ended up having. My son is 6 years old right now, but I risked it a lot, because when you have mechanical valve, when you are pregnant, you have to change the warfarin to Lobernex, which is an injection. Another injection they use is heparin. So I had to inject twice a day. During my 9 months, I had to inject that, and they said that the Lobernex and the heparin is not as good as the warfarin. So I had 80% of me developing a blood clot, and either in the placenta or either anywhere in the brain or whatever, even the baby. So I did risk it. So that's one of the reasons. And then with the pig, the bad side about the pig, I think, is that they say that you have to change it every 10 years, but then you could have a baby with any, because you don't take any medication for the pig. So that's another difference. So I don't know. So right now, that's the reason why I can have more kids, because I'm scared that I could die if I do it again, or my baby, or it could be the same like my son. It's just, I guess it's up to God too. I'm Catholic, but I don't want to risk it because my son is 6 years old and he needs me. I do have some people that are in my Marfan syndrome group in Facebook that have 3 kids, 4 kids, but they don't have a mechanical valve too. So that's another reason I think why it's kind of easy for them to get pregnant. Another reason doctors say that you shouldn't get pregnant also is not only because of aorta. You could have an aorta aneurysm, because during pregnancy, your blood works more. It starts pumping more blood. So, and also you're more like, when you're pregnant, you have to push the baby. So they say that there's a big risk of having an aorta aneurysm. So that's another reason why doctors in a way don't want you to be pregnant. And that's basically what I had. That was my second surgery, which was a mechanical valve that I was placed. Now since 2009 till now, I started going to check my blood once a week, but now I go every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks I have to go check. They have to take my blood and see if my levels are good. It has to be from range 2.5 to 3.5. 2.5 to 3.5 if you have a mechanical valve. So I go check and make sure everything is good. If it's not good, doctor will change my milligrams of my medication. Right now I'm in 5 milligrams. So it's been like that for already 2 years, so thank God. And also with mechanical valve, you cannot eat big portions of green vegetables because vegetables has a lot of vitamin K and that could thick your blood. So at the beginning when I had the mechanical valve, I try not to eat vegetables at all, but then I spoke to a nutritionist and she told me that I have to learn to eat little portions. So now I do eat little portions of broccoli. So broccoli or whatever, you know, spinach and an egg, whatever, but I do eat it like once or twice a week by little portions. So that's another I guess I would say downside of having a mechanical valve. So you have to be in warfarin for the whole rest of your life. Second is you gotta learn to eat little portions of green vegetables. Third is you have a higher risk of getting an aorta aneurysm or developing a blood clot anywhere in your body, or even the baby if you're planning to be pregnant. So that's what it is. But then the one positive thing is like I don't have to change it, you know. Hopefully I don't, because I heard that sometimes it does get like damaged, so you do have to go into a second surgery. But so far so good. The doctor did a good job on that. So that's another thing that I had. So it says heart, aorta, mitral valve. Like I said, I have mitral valve. And then aorta aneurysm. I do go to check my heart every year. Once a year I do go check my heart because they're always monitoring if my heart is growing, my aorta is growing. So right now it has been stable for the past, since I gave birth to my son was in 2011. Since 2011 till now it has been the same range, which is 3.7. I think the highest risk is when you are 4.5 and above. That's when you have to have an aorta surgery. Hopefully that doesn't happen to me, but I do have to check, and every year that I go I am scared because I get scared, you know, wondering if I'm gonna have it. And you know, I have a child and I worry more about him than me. He needs me a lot, and it's hard, you know, learning that could happen to you. Another fear that I had now is not that bad. I guess I learned to cope with it. Is that the beginning when I lost my left eye, I was scared that I would lose my right eye, which it is a high risk right now too, because even though they did a laser to protect it, I do have a high risk, and also that has to be monitored every year. Not even every year now, they want me to do it every 6 months because they do notice that I have some cataracts in my right eye. And something, I forgot what they told me, but they told me that they do have to monitor now every 6 months. And it's scary, you know, thinking that you could lose your both eyes and stay blind. I have friends that are blind and they have they live like a happy life, like, you know, and they're able to do a lot of things. They're even able to do more things that I do. Their motor skills are more better. Like they're able to, I have one friend that actually does candles. She makes candles, you know, the candles for home. So she does it and she mixes them and puts different smells to it. So she's very talented, and she does from scratch the candles. Like she just mixes them, she buys everything, so then she sells them to people that she knows, I guess. And so it's kind of hard. Okay, this is what she makes. I had to go get it. Her company is called Heavenly Scent. This one right there. And this one has red pineapple flavor. So she does this. And I guess my motor skills is also part of the Marfan syndrome, because my hands, my long fingers, sometimes it's just hard for me to do certain things. I'm very like weak in some skills because of my fingers, and that's, you know, another reason. So the aorta aneurysm and my eye has to be watched closely. So that's another thing of Marfan syndrome. It's kind of like you gotta get used to it, you know. You were chosen to have it, and learn to accept it. You know, what could we do? You know, we gotta continue. So that's another part of Marfan syndrome. I'm just making sure. It also affects your lungs. So far it hasn't affected. I mean, recently I was like, I kind of have like asthma, but it's really hasn't been diagnosed completely, but I do have wheeziness. Doctor thinks it's an allergy, so I do go to the allergy doctor every once a week, because I do have a dog, so I get allergies, so I don't get I'm allergic to dust and dogs and so many things, trees, so I have to get allergy shots every week. Lungs, like I said, the doctor thinks it's because of the allergy. I was wheezing. And bones, my bones, like I said, they're very flexible, easily to turn. Like I said, my legs were turned. And there's no cure. There's no cure for Marfan syndrome. There's a lot of research going on. There's a Marfan foundations that a lot of people donate them, so doctors could find out cure or find a way so we could live longer. Now we could live more longer because of the technology and new doctors, new medicines. We do have it in expectancy, like we could live up to 75 years old or more. I wish, you know, I always say I want to be here till I'm 65 to just make sure my son is already big. But that's me, you know. God is the one that chooses me too, and what could I say? Nothing. I'm not scared to die. That's another thing. I feel bad, my heart breaks for my son, but then I'm not scared. I don't know how my son would do without me though, because he's so attached to me. So that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't, you know, want to, because I don't know what he will do without me. What else? So ways to know how you have Marfan syndrome is when you have your big finger and your thumb finger together, and if you ever able to touch it, the other hand, you're able to twist it around and you're able to hold both fingers. That means you have Marfan's. Another one is if you cross the thumb over this way, that also means you have Marfan's. This is how I was diagnosed. I was diagnosed with Marfan's at age 9. I don't know if I told you guys, but I was diagnosed with Marfan's at age 9 years old here in the United States, because during my childhood I was in Ecuador, so my parents brought me here when I was 9 years old. And that's, like I said, this is another way. If your thumb finger crosses this side, that means you have Marfan too. And if they put you like this, and if your arms are longer, then I forgot what it is, and they also measure me like that, and that's how they found out I have Marfan. Oh, and another one I had was myopic. I'm nearsighted, very nearsighted. So in my right eyes I do wear contact lenses, but when I was a teenager I was wearing those big fat glasses, but my doctor knew that I was turning adolescent, so he told me it was time for me to wear contacts. Thank God there is contacts, but there isn't still, and I wish this is what doctors work. I wish there was somebody that would start thinking about Marfan's, you know, Marfan's people with myopic, that, you know, somebody will create a thin glasses for us, because that would be so much good, because then I wouldn't have to wear my contact lens, because it is annoying to take it out every day and put it back in the morning, and you have to clean it, disinfect it. So it will be nice if, you know, we do get dinner glasses. And so I had my OPIC. Another symptoms is stretch marks. I don't know if everybody has them, but we do have stretch marks a lot in our arms, and, you know, in our legs, in our butt. But, you know, like, and those are things that it does affect us, because, you know, we're young, we're 33 years old, all those symptoms. And sometimes people think you're old, you know, like me. Sometimes people think I'm 45 years old or something, and it does upsets me, because I'm like, oh my gosh. So, but what could we do? Like I said, that's all I could say, and that's what we have, and that's, you know, that's what it is. It is what it is. And the way, so the medications right now that I'm taking, the only thing I'm taking right now is warfarin. I did go through depression, but it's not because of the Marfans. I actually never went to a psychiatric place because of my Marfans, like because I couldn't cope with it or because I wanted to kill myself. No. The reason why I went through a psychiatric was because my son was going through a difficult moment last year, and he was very sick and he had to go surgery, but he doesn't have Marfan syndrome. We did the genetic test. He doesn't have it. He actually doesn't show any symptoms of it so far. Like, his heart is good, his height is good, and he's not, you know, he doesn't have anything. But he did have something else that wasn't Marfan's, and we had a, you know, I went through depression because I thought I was gonna lose my son. So I had to take a psychiatric, you know, counseling therapy. So there they gave me depression pills, which I am still. Doctor wants me to continue because she says I'm very emotional, and whatever, something little like sad thing that could happen in my family, or something, you know, that could happen to a close loved one of my family, I could easily get depressed. So she wants me to continue on the medication. So I'm taking warfarin, depression pills, and Emetrin. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. For those people who have Marfan's, I noticed in my support, in the support Marfan syndrome page in Facebook, a lot of people go through this, not only me. So I'm not the only one, but we get migraines a lot, and it's been so hard. At the beginning it was very hard for me because I didn't know what was it, until I went to the doctor and I started telling them that I get severe headaches. I start seeing flashlights, and I have to be all day in the dark, because if I start seeing the light, I go crazy, and then I start crying more, I start throwing up. Now I take Emetrin, I think it's called, and it has helped me. Or I think another word is somatropin or something like that. I'll leave that name here. And I take that, and it helps me, because as soon as I think I'm getting the migraines, I take that pill, and it helps me not have severe migraines, so I don't go through that whole day thing, even though sometimes even the pill doesn't help. So I do feel tired after if I have a migraines. I don't know if it's everybody, but I have to be in bed all day because I feel like I am so tired, especially if I was throwing up. Even though I go to the toilet and I try to throw up, it doesn't come nothing, but just the thing that you're going every 5 minutes to the bathroom and you go and you don't, I guess it gets you exhausted, and then by the time the episode is done, I feel very tired, weak, and I don't want to know nothing about food, nothing about anything. I just want to be laying down, not even watching TV, anything. And I have gone to the ER so many times because of my migraines, but now because of this medication that I've been taking for the past 2 years, I haven't gone to the ER for a while. And basically that's what I take. For pain, I don't take anything. So far I don't have severe pain, because I do know that some Marfan syndromes, they even take painkillers that are very strong. They even take some marijuana and other medications. I don't take that, because so far my pain hasn't been that severe in my joints, even though I am starting to feel pain walking, but I haven't gone through that. I go to the gym twice a week, so I think that helps me too, and I do need to lose weight. So that's one of my goals too, to lose weight, and that's basically it. So if anything you guys want to know more, just let me know, and I'll do another video. If you guys want to know more about me and how is it living with Marfan, just let me know and I'll do another video. If you guys are interested in knowing how was my pregnancy and during my 9 months, and anything else about me, you know, just let me know. I will say here that I don't work. I stopped working since 2011 after my son, after I gave birth to my son. Since then I went on disability. So if anything you guys want to know, I'll do another video of it. And I hope you guys like this video, and I hope it was very educated to you guys, and you know, you guys know that you guys are not alone. And even if you don't have Marfan, it could be another disability. Just know that we have to accept who we are, and just, you know, don't compare yourself. Everybody is not perfect. Everybody has something imperfect in their life, and know that, you know that whatever, sometimes you cannot envy somebody else, because we have, you know, some person doesn't have what they wish they had from us, you know. So there's no reason. I actually don't have no envy in my heart from nobody. Maybe as an adolescent, as a teenager, yes, but me as an adult, no. Okay, so I never actually look at another person and say, oh, I want to be that person, because I am who I am. The only person I wish I could be, had, was Lizzie Velasquez, because she's so self-confident of herself. She advocates to big people. She talks about being a bully, how it affects people, and she's a big, you know, speaker. So I wish I was like her. I wish I had the guts to show my legs and don't care what people say. But you know, I'm not like that. But you know, whatever it is, you know, it's not that I envy her. I just admire her. She's one of the top person I admire in my life, and she has given me the strength to me be a YouTuber, and I love being a YouTuber. So that's another thing that I thank her, if anything. And if she's watching it one day, just wanted to tell you, Lizzie, that I love you a lot, and that you are the person that I admire most. And anyways, thank you so much guys for watching me. I hope you enjoy this video that I did for you guys, so you guys can know what it is to have Marfan syndrome, even though some people might know it. But you know, for those people that are going through my situation, just like I said, just we gotta, you know, accept it and try to live a healthier life as possible. You know, right now I'm not being a good role model because I'm eating and I'm not losing weight, but I am gonna do it for me, for my son, and you know, because I want to live longer. So I am gonna do my best to lose weight. At least 25 pounds I need to lose. That's my goal, and I am gonna do it hopefully in 2018. By the time it's April, I'm already lost 25 pounds. So thank you guys for watching. Please give a like if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. And